Writing is a way to think about something in a different way. If you are stuck and feel like you have no options, I believe in writing what is going on in your life and what is going on in your mind. And perhaps poetry is about thinking about things in the most powerful way because you have to define it. And then to make a poem, you often pick something out that is a symbol of what you're feeling or an analogy of what's going on. It is also a way to strip away everything else that is not important. I'm a big believer in free writing. Just keep writing until you've expressed yourself and got out things that you perhaps only knew subconsciously. And then by distilling your free writing down into poetry, it's more manageable. And you can perhaps focus on just one thing, figure out one thing out, and then move on. I remember many times being upset and worried about something and wanting to get it down on paper. Part of that is I'm a writer and I want to use that in a story and a poem. But I also wanted to write it down and define it so that I can get it off of my mind. I found that many times when I came to write it down on paper, what I was thinking came out differently. It was because I was accessing a different part of my brain. I remember one of my poems that I began writing was about my son and his autism. And we have very few challenges. We had very few challenges compared to what some families are going through. Autism can be a hard thing to handle. We were blessed in having a sweet kid. We did have to, but it's something we did have to grieve and process, and it was a change. He had to be in special education. We had to help him teach a picture exchange system because he didn't talk until he was 5. There's definitely things that we struggled with. And so one of those things is sensory disintegration. It's a big part of autism often. And so I was thinking about this hardship. And but then one time I was pushing him in the swing. And then I could focus on the good things about what we were going through. I could focus on the wonderful parts of my son, the wonderful parts of my life, and I could just savor it. So what I thought of was going to be kind of a sad poem ended up being kind of taking away my worries and replacing them with gratitude. Mm-hmm. And so I actually had this poem went from being perhaps complaining to savoring to something I was actually able to publish and hopefully share with other people that have children with autism. And so the poem is the following. I believe I can cure your autism with each push of the swing. Once the movement terrified you, unsure of where you were in space. Then you loved it, and I would push you like a normal kid, like I pushed your sisters. The mind and sense connected, I know. You could get used to the swaying, like a beginner on a tightrope. Once steady, you could make sense of the world around you. Or like a cheap maze game where you waggle the game to get the small metal balls through the obstacles and seated in the divot, that divot that wins the game. Your sense of self would roll around and sink into the right spot. I know movement is good. I want to believe it's magical. So I give another push, feeling I'm pushing you forward. One hand on each knee you require, a push every time you swing back to where I'm sitting. I say silly things and you laugh. But sometimes you are within yourself, enjoying the movement, and I am quiet too. It's okay to be within yourself sometimes and just feel the breeze, watch the sun behind western clouds, telling us the day is fleeting, but right now is beautiful, right now is enough. I make you sign for more and then give more pushes. Even once I'm ready to be done, you touch your fingers together and I go on. We will make a little bit more progress on your therapy today. Our destination is not linear. It's back and forth, and right here.